naughty word. Nobody wants to fail. No one says one day, hey, I hope to grow up to be a failure, or I'm sure I'm going to be a failure. There is a big fear of failure among many of us. I don't think anybody's impervious to the fear of failure. Why do we get it? Where does it come from? What can we do about it? That's the subject of today's talk. First of all, failure is probably the best learning opportunity you can come across. And the moment you choose to decide that failure is a learning opportunity, the better off you are in life. As certainly how it's going to maintain a great attitude. An attitude being the most important thing, you protecting that. Your perception of failure is monumental. Because if you think that you're a failure and failure is a means to an end, you're not going to have a very good attitude. And obviously that's not going to serve you well either. And failure is often stigmatized. We're afraid of failing in front of other people. There are social pressures of failure. But it's a natural part of growth. When have you got to look back in your life how you have failed and what came of you, what came of your skills and thoughts and understandings from failure. I have personally lost everything I've owned 3 times. I've had 12 companies and three were successful. I've literally been so penniless that I didn't have anything to eat but a Snicker bar for 2 days. Sure, I could have called my parents. I didn't want to. I didn't feel like I deserved to. I wanted to punish myself. Fail I have many times. Thank God I failed. Because it prepared me for bigger, better things. It really did. So, your mistakes are just data points. They're not dead ends. The reason why we have this fear of failure is probably because of social pressures, right? We don't want to fail in front of other people, and we all care too much about what other people think. And we also have some of us have this perfectionism, thing. Just too bad, but it needs to be reined in. Or it could be past experiences, once bitten, twice shy scenarios in your life. But you know it and I know it, that fear can paralyze your decision making, and it prevents you from taking risks. And a lot of good things come from taking risks. I looked up some of the failure things, and it says the brain's amygdala triggers a fight or flight response to perceived failure. You got to think of ways to rewire your thinking through, like mindfulness and cognitive reframing to reduce its grip on you, because a grip it has. Know that it has. It's preventing you from something great. Just because of fear, you need to let that go and embrace a fail-forward attitude. There's some practical steps you can take, like, for instance, if you're going to be setting goals, maybe it's a process-oriented goal. For instance, for me, I'll practice public speaking weekly instead of outcome focus, which is, I must nail this speech. This has to be perfect. Instead of me practicing in that. Those are the things that can rewire your brain. And the other thing is, we should normalize vulnerability and imperfection. When I met my wife on our first date, I told her that I have bipolar disorder. And her friends were like, Ron. I am very transparent. I believe in that as a way of life. I believe I've run the most transparent company in history. I have the most transparent relationship with my family, with my wife and my kids. I think it's the way to go. I just think that being vulnerable and being open to just share, self-effacing, if you will, and putting it all on the table, because there's no fake in it. Who wants to fake life? You got to build systems to move forward. Overcome fear through action. That's what it is. You want to overcome fear? Take a step. Take a little step today. Doesn't have to be the big step that maybe you're looking at. It's just maybe just a little step. And with each step comes a little bit of self-confidence. And that confidence will grow. The other thing you can do is break your big, bodacious goals that are maybe have you in a fear state into small steps. Something you can do a little bit each day. That can help with the overwhelming feeling of whatever it is that you might be fearing. And the other thing is that there is power in networks, your social circles of influence, mentors and peers. Perhaps there's something that you've been staring down and fear has kept you from it, and maybe you know someone who's gone through it. Ask that person for coffee. Ask them to hear their story. Tell them what you fear. Ask them if they did and how they got over it. In conclusion, I will say that no matter what it is you fear, know this. The same time is going to pass between now and whenever it is that you actually do it. Do you want to remain in a state of mind of fear, where with fear, do you get good ideas when you feel fearful? No. Why immobilize your mental mindset over something that you fear is going to happen in the future? Instead, take a small step today, inch by inch. It's a cinch.